So the last few days of 2016 were pretty damn good.
Mum had a few punches on my brother.
Go on! Yes!
This is what my brother does when he loses a game of FIFA.
Fucking bee.
Yep, throws controller into the wall. Gus literally ate anything. If you think these are rubbish, wait until you see the Catherine wheel in the next clip.
Zoom in on this, this is good. Ooh! Oh!
I walked in through the wrong door, or nearly did. Struggled to find if it was a push or a pull door in Domino's. And then struggled to come out, again, not knowing whether to push or pull.
But more importantly, this. Look at this! I mean, look at it! Look how you can see everything. You can see look, this doesn't do it any justice. Look at how you can see my whole house. You can see my washing machine. You can see everything. So goals. You've been told that you must write down goals in order to achieve them. And don't get me wrong, there is some science behind all this, okay? Studies have shown that people who write down goals, especially when we're referring to weight loss, tends to lose it faster and keep it off compared to those who didn't. That's pretty obvious in a way. There's a problem, there's a very, very big problem, and that is the fact that you're spreading out your goals and setting them up arse backwards. You're doing it back to front. What you're going to be able to do at the end of this video is you're going to be able to take home points, which is going to allow you to set goals in a completely different manner. And I'm going to get onto it right now. So you tape it to your fridge, you sellotape it on, and you promise yourself that this year is the year that you are going to get seriously ripped, brah. But it's good that you've done this, and the fact of the matter is that if you have a specific goal, it gives you a sense of direction and purpose with regards to your nutrition and training. So it is good that you have done that, but you've just missed a few bits out, and I'm going to get onto that. So you continue with your plan, okay? You follow it to the T for a few weeks, but then you lose motivation and everything goes down a shit pan. You have 2 or 3 days of maybe not eating very well, and then you promise yourself that you start, or you're going to start again on Monday, but that never happens, and it's just a snowball effect. And then that's over, it's done, you failed, and it's only February. And the main reason for this is because your goals may be causing you unwanted side effects. But what we want is your goal to become the side effect of the habits that you implement into your life. Let me explain. So reverting back to that piece of paper that you had on your fridge, what you've got is lose weight, but what you haven't got is the systems and the habits that's going to get you there. And these are overlooked by the majority of people, but they're vitally important because you need, okay, it's not want, you need these habits to ensure that you get from here to there. Because it's habits, things that you do daily, which are going to get you the results that you want. And do you know what? It's not what you want to hear, because habits are boring. And unfortunately, in this world that we call fitness, boring doesn't sell. Habits and the things that you do on a daily basis are going to be your systems. These are the things which are going to get you the results. So rather than setting a goal, find systems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example of 2 people. So we'll use Roger, right? Roger's a 40-year-old man. Roger knows how to cook. Roger sometimes overeats a little. Roger is very, very active. He's got 2 boys who he takes to football. He's their coach. He enjoys climbing with his boys. Roger hits the gym consistently 4 times a week without fail. He doesn't suffer from any binge eating issues. His mindset's in the right place. And then we have Richard. Richard is a 21-year-old who sits at around 14%, but he wants to get down to about 7%. He wants to do a show, but the issue with Richard is that he isn't consistent with his nutrition. He eats well 5 times a week, and then on the weekend he's got these binge eating issues where he goes massively off track. Richard can't cook to save his life. He eats out a lot at restaurants and takeaways. Richard is he works a 9-to-5 job, and then for the majority of the night he sits on his bum and doesn't necessarily do much, and he's inconsistent with his training. So he doesn't necessarily train 4 times every week. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 4. So who's got the systems in place? What was the name of the first guy? Shit, what was the name of the first guy? I'm gonna have to watch this back and remember his name. Fuck. I got it, Roger. Roger is the man. Who is going to, who has the better systems in place? Roger or Richard? It's clearly Roger. All Roger needs to do is maybe tweak his nutrition up a little bit, because he's not very clued up on nutrition, get himself maybe into a deficit, maybe, you know, learn the fundamentals behind tracking and going about it that way. And if he does that, then he is going to be at a far greater advantage than, what's the other guy called? Richard. Roger is in a far better place than Richard. So if you think about it this way, if your systems are in place, fat loss is going to be the side effect of having good systems, and it's a good side effect, it's what you want. People overlook habits, and this is not good. Habits are vitally important, and even at the end of the cut, let's say Richard and Roger both finish their cut, then the thing is, Roger is going to be able to maintain his weight a lot easier because he doesn't have that binge eating issue, and he's still going to be active and whatnot. He's still going to be hitting the gym, so it's going to be a lot easier for him to maintain that weight once he does get lean. So let's do it. What we're going to do now is I'm going to tell you how you can set up your goal plan, and this is what we're going to do. So think of a goal. It could be anything, okay? Let's use getting down to 7% as the example. So you've got a holiday coming up, you want to get down by 7%. Let's say even you haven't got a holiday, you just, in the year 2017, I want to get down to 7% body fat just to challenge myself. Cool. So, because there's no time frame behind it, don't put a date on it, because all that's going to do is it's going to put unnecessary pressure on yourself, and there's no need for that. Just let it happen. If you've got the fundamentals in place, if you've got the systems in place, then it's going to happen, believe you me. Unless obviously you're carrying a substantial amount of body fat, then it may take maybe more than a year, okay? But if you're sitting anywhere between sort of 15–20%, there's a high probability, as long as you put in the work, the systems, whatnot, it will happen. But then saying that, it may not, because you may have read in and around Facebook, especially if you follow Fit Bros, that the habit takes 30 days or 21 days, or whatever they say, to form. Now this is ridiculous. It's a pretty terrible statement, because it's not true. Everyone develops at different rates, and this is individual dependent. I may pick up a habit sooner than Dave. Dave may pick up a habit sooner than Keith. Just the way life is. And I think they did a few studies actually, and I think one of the habits took 66 days. So that's nearly 2 months to form. And obviously, depending on the habit, for example, drinking a glass of water with your breakfast in the morning, that's not a difficult habit to pick up. But then if we're going prepping a meal every single night of the week, then you know, it's more difficult to achieve, and that will probably take longer. Or if, you know, what I don't understand is people who find it hard to train, you know, 3 times a week. Yet in the new year, it's, I'm going to train 5 times a week. You couldn't even train 3 times before the new year. Stop being so silly. I admire you for trying and giving it a go, but you're only going to piss yourself off by not being able to do it. And then that is what causes the downfall slide thing, where people mess up. So make sure that they're realistic, your goals, and if you haven't got a bodybuilding competition or a physique competition coming up, don't worry about it and take time and understand that these habits, systems, take more time than you think. It's not a day thing. It's not a daily thing even. It takes a lot of time, weeks, to form a habit depending on what it is. Sometimes more than that, sometimes months. So what you need to be thinking about as well is compare your goals to someone who has achieved them before. So if you're thinking of your favourite fitness model, think, let's say Steve Cook, what does Steve Cook do on a daily basis which allows him, apart from take gear, which allows him to stay in relatively good shape 365 days a year? What does he what does he do that I don't, which I may need to tweak? Maybe 80% of the time Steve eats majoritively, is that even a word? Clean, natural, whole foods. So that's what Steve does, and that's what I need to start doing. So now heading back to what I said a little earlier about people going from not being able to train 3 times a week and then all of a sudden in the new year saying that they're going to train 5 times, it's not realistic. So just create a routine. It's vitally important that you set yourself you time. You are important. Set yourself you time. Make sure that if you do head to the gym or plan on doing so, take your gym with you to the kit. Take your kit with you to work so that you don't have to head home, because as soon as your ass hits that sofa, as soon as you get home, you're not going to be going to work. Make sure that you get the gym stuff with you, you arrive there, and then it will make it a lot easier. Schedule in 3 or 4 hours of your week where it's you time, and make sure that nothing is going to interrupt that. And if it means maybe training early on a Saturday morning, then so be it. If you want to get in the results, then you're going to have to prioritise you time. Prioritise time, and maybe, you know, think of it like this. If, for example, you are a late night Facebook stalker, whatever you do, and you spend 10 minutes on that a night, then cut it down by 10 minutes. And if you accumulate that 10 minutes over the course of 6 days, and that's an hour that you're giving yourself, which you could be going to the gym. So think of it like that as well. And the final one, but I think this is the most important one, is to pick the most important habit and the most important system. For example, way too many guys are now getting caught up with tracking their calories. It's great that they're doing that, but what they're focusing on too much is the carbohydrate and the fats, and just too much. No need for it. Focus on calories and protein, nail that consistently for 7 days rather than 5 days. Even on weekends, don't have takeaways, nail it 7 times a week, and I can guarantee you that you will be flaunting that physique of your dreams very, very soon. Maybe even in 2017. So that's it. I hope that you like that video. If you do, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll speak to you guys soon.